Hey everyone, ever check out your Discogs account and suddenly find you're sitting on a few records that may have sold for a lot more money than you expected? Stick around and we'll dive in. Hey everyone, I was recently checking out my Discogs account and just thumbing through some of the albums in my collection, just out of curiosity, seeing what things were valued at based on sales history through Discogs. Obviously a lot of us that collect, we use Discogs regularly and we look at it to gauge some of the value within our collection, even if we're not looking to sell anything. And for me, I'm a collector. I really haven't sold anything out of my collection and don't intend to anytime soon, but it's just fun to look at every once in a while to see, something that you maybe paid $10 for one day or $20 for another day suddenly skyrockets because of demand or some other quirk out there. And that's kind of what I'm talking about right now. So I saw near the top of my, if you filter by, like, let's say median price, highest to lowest, I was looking at, just out of curiosity, what some of the highest things were, and 3 7-inch singles were near the top of the list, which kind of blew my mind. Now, one of them, which I'll show you first, was one that didn't shock me at all, and quite frankly, I think it's the type of record that at some point might go, I could see it going for $1,000 or more at some point. It's one that I don't think is gonna sell very frequently on the open market just due to its rarity. And I also think it's the type of thing that if you're a fan of the band, you're probably not going to look to flip it very often. It's just going to sit in a collection, kind of like what it did with me. So with that one, Parquet Courts this summer put out, right before their latest album came out, they released a 7-inch single. They limited it to only 100 copies. They were selling it out of Japan. And you were told it was going to go on sale at a certain time, Eastern time. I got home from work. I was sitting on the couch, we were watching TV, and I had my computer flipped open, and I got to the page, and I'm keep on hitting refresh until it hit whatever that time was in my time zone, and then finally it was there. Got it into my cart, completed the sale. And by the time I was done, it was sold out. There were, as I said, there was only 100 copies of this. It was Black Widow Spider with the B-side, Watching Strangers Smile. I waited nervously for this to cross the Pacific, but I got it probably about 2 weeks later. I want to say, I can't remember exactly what I paid for this because, with the converting yen to US dollar, I think it was around $25 American, and then another 25 or so for the shipping, the overseas shipping. But as I said, 100 copies total. It came, besides being on vinyl, it also came with a tarot card, which is kind of cool. It kind of goes with the theme of the album and with the single Black Widow Spider. And there's nothing unique about it's just a standard black single. So nothing too fancy there to show. I'll just pop it out. But what was cool is just the limited quantity. It's one of my favorite bands. I was excited to get it. It's one of those things where if I couldn't get it, I figured odds of me ever getting it probably, pretty much non-existent at the quantities that they released. I saw somebody, I think, put this on Discogs for $20,000 just to be funny, and it's probably still sitting there. I did see recently it sold for $300 on Discogs. It was the only copy that is sold to my knowledge. I haven't, other than that one that was listed for $20,000. I haven't seen another copy. I don't expect to see copies pop up very frequently. And to be honest, if I were to put this up for sale, I'm not sure I would ask for less than $1,000 for it. I think it's the type of thing that, to the right collector, to the right fan of the band, is probably going to pay a little bit more for it. And to me, to let it go for under $1,000, I don't think I would do. But again, as I said, I think with these, it's aimed more at the fans, and at that limited quantity, you're limited to one per person. There was no way Flipper was going to get hold of these things and start pumping them out online. So I was excited to have it, but it was just fun to kind of see it pop up on Discogs, and it is now one of my most valuable records per Discogs sales history. All right, there's two more that that were a bit surprising to me, and actually to this day it still puzzles me, because they're both Third Man record 7-inch singles, and we're not talking about something that was part of the Vault subscription. Now, obviously, he did like that one pressing he did of like the world's fastest made record, where he recorded it and then they rushed it to the pressing plant and then they pumped out copies and then they brought it back to people that were there. That one is gone for some high dollar numbers, and obviously he's got some Vault packages that are out there, but by and large, his standard black 7-inch releases, as far as I know, are supposed to always be in print unless they are released in a limited quantity for some reason. So a few years back, there were a series of 7-inch singles that came out as part of the Luck Mansion recordings. And the idea here was they paired up a couple of artists in that country, bluegrass, Americana genre. Female and male artists, and they recorded two songs, and the pairing would record together, so they would kind of back each other up on the two songs, and it was a double A side of sorts. So at the time, I bought pretty much all of them except for one that I wasn't. Technically, I guess two. One of them I wasn't even aware of, so that one did not even know about. It wasn't showing on the Third Man store. I was just looking at all of the ones that they had in the series, and then one of them that was there was sold out. So these are the series. You've got just a variety of artists, and you can see they've got one on the cover, and then the back cover they have the other one. I'll throw up on the screen a list of all the artists that participated in these, and it's a cool little 7-inch series. But one of them that they didn't have in stock at the time, and it was sold out, and I figured, well, I'll get it at some point, because these are, or at least I thought, fairly standard Third Man singles. But one of them was Margo Price, who's one of my favorite kind of country, Americana, modern artists, and it was never available. Never saw it. I may have seen a copy floating around on Discogs, but it was it's like $150, $200, something crazy like that. I'm not going to pay that for a 7-inch, especially something that I thought would come out at some point. Some point last year, I was looking for a 7-inch singles box to just hold, the carrier. I like the ones that Third Man sells. I've got quite a few of them, and I decided, I need another one. Let me go get one. And when I went to order it, you get those recommended products, like, somebody who bought this is also interested in this, and this. And underneath it was the Margo Price 7-inch single, and it was there, and it was in stock, and I think it was $6 was the list price, and I'm a member of the Third Man Vault, so it was another 10% off. So I think I paid $5.40 for it. And while I was buying that, I spotted another one, Lillie Rische. She's recorded with Jack White and toured with him, and she's also a solo artist in her own right. And I'm like, well, that's one I didn't have, and I double checked, and sure enough, didn't have it. And again, $6 with the 10% off. So I ended up buying these two for $10 and change, and tax, and I think with the singles box I bought, it put me over the threshold, so shipping was free. Eventually, I ended up checking over time. This one has sold a few times. I believe the median price right now for this is $275. It sold for as much as $300, which is just shocking to me that that this one that you would think would be more readily available, or just repressed with some sort of regularity by Third Man, isn't available. And then the other one, the Lillie Mae one, was surprising to me also. Well, first off, I couldn't even find this on Discogs. If you go in and see it on Discogs, it's only because I entered it. So the pictures that you see are the photos of the ones that I took and uploaded, and I added the information to this. Subsequently, it has sold, and from what I can tell, it's only been sold one time for $200. So that was a bit of a shock to me. And again, I ended up, after I bought the Margo Price one and it shipped to me, I kind of thought, what if I bought a few more copies of it and started putting them out on Discogs and just make my money back if somebody's actually willing to pay $150, $200 for it. Went back to Third Man and completely sold out. It's not even an option. So my one shot at becoming a flipper that we all hate, that opportunity came and went pretty quickly. But yeah, that was those are three singles that on the high end you're looking at close to $1,000 in sale prices on Discogs. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments below if you have any shockingly highly valuable records in your collection. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on YouTube and subscribe. Some more great videos are on the way. We'll see you soon. Take care.